Hello everyone, Bashar here. So, patch 04 was announced. I mean, it was announced some time ago, but now we have access to full patch notes, and they are a little bit, quite in detail. But I want to go over it. Maxroll has shown the courtesy of summarizing the stuff, so let's go over it. So we are getting a new class, and the new class is getting 2 ascendancies as usual. Maybe in the end we will have 3 on all of them, because now some of them have 3 anyway. So we have the Druid, right? And not unexpectedly, he is able to shapeshift into different forms. So first of all, the Druid's weapon is called Talisman, and if you recall, the stuff that the Wisps drop were used to call Talismans, so now they are going to be called Idols, right? So the weapon class is going to be a Talisman, and the Talismans will allow you to shapeshift into a different form. When you use the basic attack of the form, you will automatically transform into the respective form. Yeah, and this seems to be, deriving some, idea from Diablo and World of Warcraft, not unexpectedly, because that's how Druids operate. So we have 3 forms, well, 4 if you count the basic human form. We have the bear form, somewhat tanky, generates rage, and yeah, use the rage, and they have an ultimate ability, which is called Walking Calamity. We have the wolf form. The wolf is, similar to Diablo and similar to World of Warcraft's cat. Aggressive damage dealer, sort of. Basic attack causes you to leap forward, run all fours between packs, which is similar to World of Warcraft's Worgen, right? Focus on cold damage. Yeah. So that's it. And we do have finally Wyvern form. Does some breath abilities. Devours corpses to gain power charges, then spends the power charges to empower itself. And finally, we have the human form, which casts a lot of stuff. The airborne fire-breathing thingy that you saw in the video was from the human form's ability, Flame Breath. You move at a reduced speed while doing that. And we have 2 ascendancies for the Druid called Shaman and Oracle. These are some screenshots of the things. This is a little bit more rage focused, and Oracle allows you to summon clones, etc. We'll see how it performs. So the Last of the Druids is the patch's name. The Fate of the Wall is the upcoming season's name. And I'm just going to assume that everyone is going to play the league. So it will have some new mechanics. So in every area there will be some beacons, I think. And you click on it, you activate it, and the monsters come out and you kill the monsters, and I think it activates. Then you are going to go into a special dungeon that you can yourself craft, sort of, as you can see, right? You select where to go. We will be going to in detail when it finally comes out, but you can get some, when you achieve a higher tier, you can actually do something, or you could just take it, right? As you can see, which you can sell to other players. So for example, a higher level of corruption, and there will be, I think, some mechanic that will allow you to corrupt already corrupted items. But the catch with that is, this time around, it's not messing around. With a wall, there is a chance to do nothing, and there are some stuff that happens, and sometimes you will break the item. The second corruption thingy doesn't mess around. 50% of destroying the item outright, right? For example, guys, you have a nice helmet, right? You corrupt it, and sometimes you just get nothing out of it, which loses you only a little bit of value, and sometimes you remove a key modifier which breaks the item. As I said, with the double corruption, there is no messing around. 50% straight up destruction. So try at your own risk sort of thing. But for example, guys, I have seen this in a screenshot. So, for example, for skill gems, you would either have level 21 or 23% quality, right? With this mechanic, you can have a level 21 gem with 23% quality. Normally, obviously, level 21 is more preferred, but if it's a skill that's important that has to have quality, you could also get that now. But of course, the prices will jump ahead because the people that try this will get nothing for their triples 50% of their time, literal nothing, right? Because there is no walling and not getting anything, and the item is still worth a little bit, right? It's gonna be worth nothing. So I'm gonna guess the prices will be almost double because literally you are going to try this 10 times and you are going to get nothing 5 times out of 10, right? And then in the other 5 times that you are successful, you kind of expect to be compensated for that. Yeah, so there is that. And also it says that you can use it on uniques, and it's going to replace one modifier with another. So thing is, guys, imagine there are some very nice uniques with a downside, right? Imagine the downside gets removed and something else gets replaced. So you get rid of the negative modifier, right? And sometimes those negative modifiers can be pretty bad, right? You get rid of the negative modifier and you get something positive instead, right? Could be insane. So the values will be jumping quite hard. So in the Val Temple, Val Lira, I believe it was called Val Lira, something like that. Can we see it? I think it was called Val Lira, but anyway, in there, you can get some bonuses, but when you die, the bonuses get reset. At least you are not kicked out, right? This is Path of Exile, so I'm grateful that I'm not gonna get kicked out. Yeah. And so abysses will be added to the game as a permanent mechanic, right? They are not going away permanently. They are going to stay. And abyss tablets have been added, right? They are just going to appear in the maps just like Breach and Delirium, etc. And the Atlas tree was modified to contain abyssal points in it, right? But maps will not be able to be abyss crafted, right? I mean, if you played this season, right, you would know that abyss crafted maps were the rage, right? They were very expensive, and you could get very, very useful maps out of that. So yeah, that's gonna go away. And also maps can no longer be distilled either. So you cannot put the emotions in the maps to give them additional tablet drops or pack size or rarity, whatever it is. As a compensation, tablets will be buffed again, right? Because with patch 0.3.1, the towers were changed and tablets were buffed, and now the tablets are going to get buffed again, which means tablets are actually going to be a big business. I did do a little bit of tablet business at the end of season 3 because I was, mapping so hard. I was trying to get level 100. It's actually a very nice business. And even at the end of the season, it doesn't die, right? So the gear business dies quite a lot, right? I mean, you either have to, sell at a low price or you just don't sell at all. But the tablets are selling like mad even at the end of the season. So it could be a nice market to work on, right? Can now be crafted into rares with up to 4 modifiers after killing the Arbiter of Ash. I actually didn't see this. Wow, insane. 4 modifier rares. So I can get quantity and increase rare monsters at the same time. Ooh. So the thing is, because these were normally able to be obtained from Arbiter only, and they were corrupted, right? You couldn't do anything, right? It would just drop that way. Now we can do it. That's pretty good. Tablets can now be corrupted with the new Fate of the Wall. Yeah, guys. So tablets can be something to go for. And as I said, what I love about, trading something is that they are fast, right? That's how I got my mirror in the last season. I went for Against the Darkness, which is a very fluid market, right? Because almost everyone wanted against the darkness last season. So, when you get a decent one, it does sell fast if you properly price it, right? So with the tablets, the supply and demand are just huge. Yeah, so it could be a nice idea. And this is very important, and I like this one very much. Delirium Fog visuals have been toned down significantly. The image below is with Delirium Active. As you can see, it's much non-intrusive, right? Much less intrusive, so to speak. So the thing is, guys, when I was leveling to 100, I was doing delirious maps, obviously, with huge pack size, right? And also maps with breach. This is kind of why I completed the project fully solo, because even when solo with I would say probably decent enough graphics card on my graphics card is, I think, like NVIDIA GeForce 4080 or something like that, right? It's a good one, right? I should definitely not having troubles when I'm playing Path of Exile, but I do, right? Terrible. I would get 1-digit frames very constantly when I was doing serious maps. And when I say serious maps, almost 200 pack size, Delirium, Abyss, right? The entire map is overrun by abyssals, and also some breaches. All the corpses of the monsters that die, the Delirium Fog, they all add up and make the game almost unplayable. I was barely not dying because of the lack of frames. So this is an improvement in the right direction. That's pretty good. This is interesting. Monster density has been reduced in favor of more difficult and rewarding monsters. 40% more monster life and loot. Whoa. 40% more monster life is pretty serious. Yeah. CPU load has been optimized with a lot of work to take advantage of more CPU cores, expecting frame rates of at least 25% higher and less bad frame spikes. Yeah. I mean, I did suffer a lot from this, and that's why I never partied up, right? Because, when you are level 99, guys, a death, even with an Omen affiliation, is multiple hours lost, and, it feels very bad. So, in order to dodge that, I didn't team up with anyone because, I didn't want anyone's, if someone is another server, I could lag there, or just their presence and the projectiles they create could cause lag for me. I just didn't want that. So I did the whole thing solo. Maybe now I will be able to team up a little bit, but I don't think I'm going for level 100 again, right? It has been a very trying experience, right? It was very hard. I mean, I did it in the last few days, so it was a little bit stressful. Would I be able to make it? Then you die, you feel bad about yourself and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, so the druid looks cute. Of course, we'll have to see. I mean, there are a lot of people saying druid looks OP, but you can't really say that without seeing the multipliers, without seeing how the skills interact, right? And also what we are getting, right? Because a lot of things are changing. So yeah, that's about it, guys. That's, of course, a general overview. I'm gonna be doing a little bit more in-depth review of the patch here, but there are hundreds of lines of changes coming. I will not be going over them all, but the general thing. And for those of you that enjoy Deadeye like me, Deadeye has been axed a little bit again. I think it will still be playable, but it will not be on the same level, right? It has received multiple nerfs. Not huge this time around. I don't think it's going to be unplayable, but it's not going to be on the same level. GGG has been working to make Pathfinder a little bit more playable, so they buffed Pathfinder a little bit and nerfed Deadeye. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, and I will see you in another video. Bye-bye.